Hey everyone, and welcome to today's explainer. We're jumping right into something I find absolutely fascinating, the silent, tectonic surge that's completely reshaping our modern world. And look, we're not just talking about cars here. We're going to uncover some key insights into how this whole electric transition is fundamentally rewiring global economics, bending to the strict laws of physics, and totally transforming our home energy grids. It's a massive, unstoppable race, and honestly, I'm so excited to unpack this with you. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to hit 1. The global market shift. 2. The mass adoption threshold. 3. Physics takes the wheel. 4. Erasing range anxiety. 5. The social charging movement. And 6. The power plant on wheels. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The global market shift. Right now, the global automotive sector is going through a structural shakeup unlike anything we've seen in 100 years. On one hand, you've got traditional legacy manufacturers. They're being very measured, very protective of all their massive investments in internal combustion engines. But on the flip side, you have these emerging tech-led brands, vertically integrated powerhouses like BYD, and they are taking off like rockets. They're treating the car basically like a smartphone on wheels. By doing that, they're compressing what used to be a 7-year R&D cycle down to, get this, 24 to 36 months. It's putting an unbelievable amount of pressure on the old automotive hierarchy. Section 2. The mass adoption threshold. So, all this high-speed competition leads us to the ultimate battleground, the entry-level, high-volume market. Because let's face it, if electromobility is actually going to take over the world, it can't just be a toy for wealthy early adopters, right? It needs a magic key, and that key is the €20,000 threshold. Hitting that exact price point is what takes EVs from an exclusive luxury to an everyday, democratized utility. It's literally the most critical testing ground for manufacturing efficiency in the world right now. Reaching that price floor, whether through clever microcars or stripping down platforms, isn't just a fun growth strategy anymore. It's absolutely crucial. It creates the mass market scalability needed to fund future tech. It builds secondary market vitality, meaning we finally get affordable used EVs. But maybe most importantly, it forces mandatory portfolio realignment. For legacy European and American brands, figuring out this €20,000 puzzle isn't optional. It's a strict defensive necessity if they want to survive against these aggressive new players. Section 3. Physics takes the wheel. Now, while economics tell us what we can actually afford, the completely uncompromising laws of physics are actively dictating exactly what these cars have to look like. There's been this massive behind-the-scenes battle raging in design studios everywhere, the romantic design purist versus the data-driven aerodynamic engineer. And guess what? The engineer is winning handily. Physics is effectively becoming the new lead designer. In an EV, air isn't just something you drive through. It is literally stealing your battery range. And because of that, we're seeing the death of that classic aggressive upright front grille. All those sharp angles and distinct brand-specific styling cues, they are being traded in for smooth, continuous, organic teardrop shapes. And the reason is simple. In the electric era, every tiny reduction in aerodynamic drag translates directly into vital highway kilometers. So today, it's the wind tunnel, not the designer's sketchpad, that is totally running the show for automotive aesthetics. Section 4. Erasing range anxiety. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, range anxiety. The industry is pulling off a massive pivot to completely erase this fear. We're seeing 700 to 800 kilometer ranges dropping out of million-dollar hypercars right down into everyday vehicles. But to really grasp how high-power charging works, think about it like this. If the current 400-volt charging standard is a garden hose, the new 800-volt architecture is a massive fire hose. It allows a staggering amount of energy to just pour into the battery without melting everything down. It essentially cuts your wait time in half, turning a painful delay into a quick bathroom break and a coffee. And when you pair that with super advanced thermal management systems, meaning your battery works just as well in a freezing blizzard as it does in a heat wave, we're finally achieving true real-world autonomy. The EV road trip is finally mirroring and, honestly, in some ways beating the frictionless convenience of just pulling up to a gas pump. Section 5. The social charging movement. But here's where the story takes a really fascinating twist. While the big brands are chasing those 800-volt charging speeds, there's a totally different cultural shift happening on the secondary market. On one end of the spectrum, you have your classic gas station culture, right? That sterile, hurried dash and splash on the side of a massive concrete motorway. But on the other end, buyers of those older first-generation EVs are embracing something called social charging. Because their cars charge a bit slower and have less range, they're just completely bypassing the main highways. Instead, they're hunting down chargers in these beautiful, hidden peripheral villages. It's brilliant, really. They're taking what used to be a really frustrating limitation, waiting around for a charge, and turning it into an opportunity for discovery and sustainable tourism. It's stopping for an espresso in a tiny village square that you would have otherwise just blown past at 130 kilometers an hour. It just goes to show that sometimes a technical limitation can actually bring a little bit of romance back into travel. Section 6. The power plant on wheels. Now, the absolute most radical shift we're talking about today actually happens when the car stops moving entirely and is just parked in your driveway. Thanks to vehicle-to-home and vehicle-to-grid technologies, the very definition of a car is changing. Think about its roles now. 1, it's transport. 2, it's a massive home battery. And 3, it's localized grid support. Your car is transforming from an asset that just loses money sitting there into a high-capacity, decentralized power plant that lives right in your garage. So, what does this mean for you? It means a radical optimization of your total cost of ownership. Think about it. This giant battery can literally keep your lights on and your fridge running during a local blackout, keeping your family safe. Or it can automatically sell stored energy back to the national grid when prices spike, literally putting cash back in your pocket, and then it just recharges later that night when electricity is dirt cheap. Suddenly, your car isn't just a vehicle, it's a strategic domestic energy investment. When we pull all these insights together, the sheer scale of this transformation is pretty mind-blowing. We've got the market tectonics of Asian tech brands pushing legacy automakers to the brink. We have physics literally reshaping cars into aerodynamic teardrops. We've got 800-volt fire hoses of electricity, the unexpected charm of social charging, and of course, those VTG utilities turning your garage into a power plant. This whole electric transition, it's so much more than just swapping out the fuel we use. It's a fundamental redesign of global economics, how we travel, and how we secure our home energy. So, I'll leave you to ponder this provocative thought. Is your next car actually your next home appliance? It's definitely something to chew on. Well, before we wrap up this explainer, I just want to deliver a very heartfelt thank you to all of our listeners. Your precious contribution, which is deeply appreciated, is what makes this show possible. Keep asking those big questions, stay curious, and I will catch you in the next explainer.